Today I'm going to show you how to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 10 on Proxmox. Now I haven't done this ever before, so this will be my first time. Let's get started. Okay, first thing to do is to make sure you have RHEL 10 downloaded. So to do that, we're going to open up a new browser here, and we're going to go to developers.redhat.com. I will place these URLs in the description of the video. All right, once you're there, you can log in if you'd like. Since we're just downloading, we're going to click on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Then you're going to click on download/sign up. Then you're going to scroll down, and this is where you'll see RHEL 10 and RHEL 9. Of course, I'm looking for x86 because that's the hardware of my system. And you click on download ISO. When you do that, you should get, like, of course, a login page, and then let's go ahead and get logged in. All right, download, and then it should start to download. Now, if this is the first time that you've signed up for the developer license, you will get asked a questionnaire where you have to fill out address, email, that sort of thing. However, I've already downloaded this. As you can see, it's downloading right now in Firefox. I went ahead and downloaded the ISO, and then the next thing to do is how to upload it or put it into Proxmox. Now, you'll have several storage areas that you've set up ahead of time if you do have Proxmox. Now, I've already uploaded mine. Once you select your file, then you can just upload. However, I've already uploaded mine. If we take a look over here, this is my drive that I have shared to my Windows system, and there's the RHEL 10. Okay, next we need to create the VM. In Proxmox, you'll see a Create VM blue button here at the very top right-ish corner. Click on Create VM. Select the node if you have multiple nodes in your environment. If you only have one, you don't have to worry about this. I'm going to name this RHEL 10 Demo. Next, then we're going to choose the location of our ISO. And make sure we choose RHEL 10. System, I'm going to leave the defaults except for check QME agent. Disks, I'm going to change it to 50 gigs. You can choose whatever format you would like. I'm going to choose the default. And make sure you put your storage in an area where you have 50 gigs free. Next, CPU, we're going to go with 2 cores. And we're going to change this to host. This is specific to my environment. However, the default may work just fine for you. Memory, I'm going to leave it 2 gigs. You can increase it if you would like. Next, this is where you set up the network information. We're just going to leave it as default. Actually, I'm going to uncheck firewall. And then it asks you to confirm. We're going to finish. Once we do that, you'll notice on the left-hand corner, it's creating the VM, a blank VM. Once it's finished, we're going to go to it, and we're going to just take a quick look to make sure everything's set up correctly. 2 gigs, 2 processors. I see the ISOs attached. Looks like we're good to go. Next, I'm going to start the VM so we can boot from the ISO image, and then look at the console. All right. It says install Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Now, this is the first time I've actually done the installation of RHEL 10, so we may crash and burn, or we may succeed. We'll see. Oh, that's not good. Already our first problem. Well, as you can see, it's not loading. When we click install, it restarts the VM and just in an endless circle. So I'm going to pause the video here on my side, do some research, find out what's wrong, and hopefully show you on screen the resolution. Okay, I'm back. Did some research. I found out why. It's because my old system server, Supermicro, which is like 12 plus years old, does not meet the CPU requirements. So if we go here, you can see I'm running a Xenon here, an old one. I'll look it up. Let me move this page. So what we're looking at here is the maximum logical supported CPUs. Specifically, it tells us what version, x86 64 version 3. Well, my old system is a version 1. So it's not capable of running RHEL 10, which is very sad. However, I do have a second Proxmox server in a cluster here. I call it my little mini server here. And what I'm going to do now is transfer this server, or migrate to mini server. Shouldn't take long since there's not really anything on it. All right, and now we're there. I'm still going to leave it as host. On this server right here, I have an i9. Definitely supports the CPU requirements. Okay, so let's start it off again here. Start console. All right, we choose install RHEL 10. Going to have to probably upgrade my old Supermicro. It's kind of sad. I'm just guessing here, but I'm pretty sure there's not much differences from the RHEL 9 installer that we did in episode 2. Okay, this looks familiar. Select your language. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the root account set up here. Enable root account. Allow root to log in with the password since this is my home machine and it's just a demo. All right, this will allow you to create a separate user. It's up to you if you want to do that. Might be a good idea, honestly. Let's look at what items render advanced. Okay, you can tell it where you put the home directory. You can even tell it what group to put it in. I'm just going to change this to admin. You don't have to change any of those last options. Okay, all this localization part is set up correctly. Software will do last. Let's disable KDUMP. Again, I'm not doing any development in terms of code, so I don't really need KDUMP. Let's set up next the installation destination. We're going to do a custom. Click done, and then we're going to, this is the way I do things. You can do it the way you want to, but I allow the installer to create the default partitions and everything, and then I just go back and modify. Okay. These can be whatever numbers that you would like. I'm just going to modify to my standard here I have at my house. Okay, looks right. Boot. Good. Swap. Leave alone. Oh wow, BIOS boot. This is new. Didn't see that in RHEL 9. I'll have to look that up later and see what this is. Okay, let's add in our other directories here. Do /home. We'll give it 10 gig. Let's just go ahead and add them all right now. /var, 10 gig. And then var log 5 gig. And then we'll do /temp. And we'll give it 6 gig. I like 5 better. Okay, I'm going to go through and modify all the LV names to meet my home standard. Okay, that should be everything. Press done. Gives you an idea what it's going to change. Accept changes. Okay, let's go to our network here. Give it the name of the server. If you do not have your own DHCP server in your house, this is where you would click configure. Then you would go to IPv4 settings. You would choose manual, add, and then you would add in the address, netmask gateway, then save it. However, I'm just going to leave everything default because it defaults to DHCP server. If there is a future video you would like where you want me to go over DHCP servers, I'm welcome to do so. Just leave a comment down below. All right, now we're going to click done. Then we're going to come down to the installation software selection. Choose server. I know I like guest agents and a file system client, and then system tools. Let's see if there's anything new here. Tools for managing Linux containers. Hey, let's check mark that. Okay. All right, done. Now we can log in to Red Hat's repositories up here. I'm going to go ahead and click it. And this is the login account for your Red Hat developer license that we set up in episode 1. Okay, good. Interesting. Okay, and then we're going to see if it works. All right, great. Done. And begin installation. Okay, now these usually take a while to install, so I will fast forward the video once it's at complete. See you then.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're back. Looks like we're finished here with the installation, so we're going to reboot the system. Okay, let's log in for the first time. All right, you're logged in. Now it's time for me to do some cleanup. I like to remove the ISO, that sort of thing. So shut down. Okay. Go to the VM, hardware, CD, DVD drive, edit. Do not use any media. Okay. Start it back up. Console. Log in. Okay. Now that I have the IP address, I'm going to create a new session here in PuTTY. And then try to connect, accept connection. Let's get logged in. And let's make our settings, our font settings bigger. And I'm going to switch over. Okay. All right. So let's find out if everything was set up correctly on the machine. Okay, I see all my mounts are there. Great. Let's go to m.repos. There's the Red Hat repos. Very cool. And since we're already registered, let's patch just to be on the safe side. DNF update -y, then press enter. Oh, look at that. New downloads already.
A few moments later.
Okay, completed. Also, it looks like a new kernel was updated, so make sure you boot your host so the kernel will take effect. Next, let's install Ansible. But before we do that, we need to make sure that the repos are all set up for Ansible. Repo list all. Okay. Now let's do subscription manager repos list grep, and we're going to do Ansible. And then grep msi 2.4. 2.5 in terms of Ansible automation platform is the newest. However, 2.4, I think 2.2 is on the certification. 2.4, I'm very used to using. I don't see any Ansible. Unfortunate. Okay, figured out why. So RHEL 10 doesn't have any official Ansible automation platform repositories yet. So you're only going to find that on RHEL 9. That is something I did not know. So that's a difference. I'm sure that'll change. However, I will not be able to show you how to install Ansible. Sorry, but hey, I'm learning as we go. This is the first time I've installed this. Okay, so there are no Ansible repositories. We just have RHEL 10. I mean, it is brand new. We did learn that you have to make sure you have the right CPU support, which is unusual because most Linux distributions are backwards compatible with a lot of older systems. But hey, this is something new. Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, me stepping through it, not knowing what I'm doing. If you do like it, please like and subscribe. Please, write some comments if you have any questions, or if you have any ideas on future videos, things that you might want to see. With RHEL 10 being new, I'm sure we're all going to come across something that we haven't come across before. All right, guys. You all take care.